right, Shalom. First and foremost, we'll give all praises, honor, and glory unto Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi, Bahasham Rakabidash Brakatham. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone who rule well, and a salute and a shalom to all the Akim that are out here labor pushing this truth in all sincerity and in truth. The title of this lesson would be what is it? I wrote it in my notes. Okay, it's going to be titled the toughest decision in faith, right? Because the time will come, and the time is around the corner, where we're going to have to make the toughest decision in our life, right? The toughest decision ever. Okay, and that decision is to either trust and depend upon Yahawashi completely, or bow the knee. All right. Now, remember our Lord Yahawashi. He was nervous, right? He got worried. Here it is, the Garden of Gethsemane. This is Matthew 26 and 36. It says, Then cometh Yahawashi with them unto a place called Gethsemane. Now, Gethsemane in the Hebrew is Gath Shaman, right? Gath Shaman. Or you press. Saith unto his disciples, Sit ye here while I go and pray yonder. And he took with him Peter and the two sons of Zebedee, James and John, and began to be sorrowful and very heavy. Right? So our Lord Yahawashi was in anguish and he was distressed. Then saith he unto them, My soul is exceeding sorrowful, even unto death. Tarry ye here and watch with me, right? And he went a little further and fell on his face and prayed, saying, O my Father, if it be possible, let this cup pass from me. Nevertheless, not as I will, but as thou wilt. Right? It says, he went, hold on. Okay. Say he went on a little farther and bowed with his face to the ground, praying, My Father, if it be possible, let this cup of suffering be taken away from me. Yet I want your will to be done. See? Our Lord Yahawashi, he still said, Father, I want your will to be done, not mine. It says, And he cometh unto the disciples and findeth them asleep, and saith unto Peter, What? Could ye not watch with me 1 hour? All right, man. But the Rakakwadash was on the disciples to fall asleep. Their eyes were heavy. Watch and pray that ye enter not into temptation. The spirit is indeed willing, but the flesh is weak. He went away again the second time and prayed, saying, O my Father, if this cup pass not away from me, except I drink it, thy will be done. Jake, we're going to have to be in that spirit, man, saying, "Thy will be done." All right, thy will be done. It says, and he came and found them asleep again, for their eyes were heavy. See? And he left them and went away again and prayed the third time, saying the same words. Then cometh he to his disciples, and saith unto them, Sleep on now, take your rest. Behold, the hour is at hand. The Son of Man is betrayed into the hands of sinners. Right? So, Jake, man, we're going to have to make the toughest decision, just like our Lord Yahawashi did. Right? Which he did not want to suffer, but he wanted his Father's will to be done. Jake, we don't want to suffer, but we have to want the will of Yahawashi to be done. Because, Jake, if we have to get beheaded, so be it. We're going to have to be beheaded, man. Let's get Revelation 2 and 10. It say, fear none of those things which thou shalt suffer. Behold, the devil shall cast some of you into prison, that ye may be tried. And ye shall have tribulation 10 days. Be thou faithful unto death, and I will give thee a crown of life. Right? Jake, man, so when that hour comes, Jake, you may see your woman and your kids take the MOTB. You may see them do it. You may see them take it. What you gonna do then? You gonna stand firm? Are you gonna stand firm and stand strong and be immovable, or will you fold? All right, because it say, he that loveth father or mother, wife or kids more than me is not worthy of me. All right, because hold on, let's see. I was going. I lost my train of thought. But, all right, man. But just like Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, they had to make the toughest a decision in their life too. Yeah, I know where I'm going. This is Daniel chapter 8. Let's like it. Daniel chapter 3, verse 8. Wherefore at that time certain Chaldeans came near and accused the Jews. They spake and said to the king, Nebuchadnezzar, O king, live forever. Thou, O king, hast made a decree that every man that shall hear the sound of the cornet, flute, harp, sackbut, psaltery, and dulcimer, and all kinds of music, shall fall down and worship the golden image. And whoso falleth not down and worshipeth shall be cast into the midst of a burning fiery furnace. There are certain Jews whom thou hast set over the affairs of the province of Babylon, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, Hananiah, Azariah, and Mishael. It says, these men, O king, have not regarded thee. They serve not thy gods, nor worship the golden image which thou hast set up. Then Nebuchadnezzar, in his rage and fury, commanded to bring Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. Then they brought these men before the king. Nebuchadnezzar spake and said, Is it true, O Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego? Do ye not serve my gods, nor worship the golden image, which I have set up? Now, if ye be ready, right? So he said, I will give you one more chance. Now, if ye be ready, at what time ye hear the sound of the cornet, flute, harp, sackbut, psaltery, and dulcimer, and all kinds of music, ye fall down and worship the image which I have made, well. But if ye worship not, ye shall be cast the same hour into the midst of a burning fiery furnace. And who is that power that shall deliver you out of my hands? See? And this is what they said. Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego answered and said to the king, O Nebuchadnezzar, we are not careful to answer thee in this matter. They said, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego replied, O Nebuchadnezzar, we do not need to defend ourselves before you. Basically, we said what we said. We ain't doing it. See? They stood on business, man. Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, man. They stood on faithful business, man. They stood on business. They wasn't doing it. Right? If it be so, our power whom we serve is able to deliver us from the burning fiery furnace, and he will deliver us out of thine hand, O king. But if not, be it known unto thee, O king, we will not serve thy gods, nor worship the golden image which thou hast set up. It says, but even if he doesn't, we want to make it clear to you, your majesty, that we will never serve your gods or worship the golden statue you have set up. So they said, hey, king, I don't give a fuck what you talking about, my man. But even if our power, whom we serve, is all right, even if he doesn't deliver us out of thy hand, O king, we want to make it clear to you, my boy, that we will never serve your gods, nor worship the golden image which thou hast set up. Jake, we have to be in that spirit too, man. Saying, hey, man, no matter what, saying, hey, man, no matter what you're talking about, I'm not doing that. Fuck that. I'm not doing it. Right? Now, and that made Nebuchadnezzar, he was pissed. He was pissed. It say, then was Nebuchadnezzar full of fury, and the form of his visage, of his face, was changed against Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. Right? So he was thinking, oh, they gonna say this to me? Right, man? So, so King Nebuchadnezzar, he was in that training day spirit, man. He was in that Denzel Washington training day spirit, man. Saying King Kong ain't got shit on me. He was in that spirit. He was like, oh no, oh no. They said this to me? They say, therefore, he spake and commanded that they should heat the furnace 1/7 times more than it was wont to be heated. Right? Basically make it completely hot. And he commanded the most mighty men that were in his army to bind Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, and to cast them into the burning fiery furnace. Then these men were bound in their coats, their hosen, and their hats, and their other garments, and were cast into the midst of the burning fiery furnace. Therefore, because the king's commandment was so urgent, and the furnace exceeding hot, the flame of the fire slew those men that took up Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. And these 3 men, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, fell down bound in the midst of the burning fiery furnace. Then Nebuchadnezzar the king was astonished, rose up in haste, and spake and said unto his counselors, Did we not cast 3 men bound into the midst of the fire? They answered and said unto the king, True, O king. He answered and said, Lo, I see 4 men loose, walking in the midst of the fire. They have no hurt, and the form of the 4th is like the son of Yahawah. Jake, our Lord Yahawashi was in the midst of the fire with Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, man. Jake, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, man, they stood on faithful business, man. They stood on faith, man. All right, man, and they were what, man? Protected. See? All right. So, Jake, man, so even if they take us to a guillotine, right, and put our heads in the guillotine, Jake, we still have to stand on business, man. We still have to depend and pray to Yahawashi, man. All right? Saying, Yahawashi, please help me. Please rescue me. Please deliver me. Jake, man, be that faithful bride, man. Jake, man, be that faithful bride, man. Be that faithful woman to Yahawashi, man. All right, man, because Jake, man, because when that blade comes down, Jake, and right before it cuts through your neck, Jake, Yahawashi could very well give you spiritual power, man. Just a millisecond before it cuts through your neck, though, man, Yahawashi could very well give you spiritual power, man. Come on now. Faith, man. Faith. All right, man. Faith, man. Jake, and still say, Yahawashi, I want your will to be done. Let's get Hebrews 11. It says, now faith is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen. Hold on real quick, Aki. Hold on real quick. All right. It say, now faith is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen. See? So faith is the confidence that we gotta have. Right? Faith is the foundation, man. Say wisdom and knowledge shall be the stability of our times, right? See? And if you are able to see the promises from afar off, right? If you are able to see the promises at a distance, you will stand firm. See? It say, these all died in faith, not having received the promises, but having seen them afar off, and were persuaded of them, and embraced them, and confessed that they were strangers and pilgrims on the earth. Right? So, Jake, man, will you stand firm? If your wife and kids, if they take, all right, if your wife take the MOTB and she make your kids take it, or you gonna stand firm, or will you fold? Which one? Faith, man. Faith. Faith. All right. So with that, I say shalom.